Welcome, Pisces. This is Regina from Pacific Tarot, getting ready to do your message tarot reading. This is a general reading, so it may not resonate for all of you necessarily. If you check your other placements, certainly your sun, moon, and or rising sign, there may be other messages there for you. However, if you're interested in a personal reading, information for that is in the description box below. I am going to be talking a little bit about the Mercury retrograde, which has been occurring since the beginning of August through certainly the end of the month, and Mercury will probably be going over its shadow in early September. So this becomes a longer process, much vilified process. I believe that Mercury represents our normal, healthy, nonlinear way of thinking about things. As we begin to receive feedback on our plans or our actions, we review, we reevaluate, we reconsider the feedback that we are then integrating into our projects before we move forward with hopefully a better mouse. This is also going to impact, for those with Pisces rising, the area of your life where you are working with others, you are keeping yourself healthy with routines and habits that help you to move towards your ultimate goals, your ultimate vision, the way you want something to turn out, the conclusions you're aspiring towards. So I'm happy to be here. I'm so grateful to you. Let's get started with your overall energy. Pisces, the Hierophant card. The Hierophant is about your opportunity to commit to the learning process. This, in many ways, this is another kind of language for a kind of sacred initiation that you are understanding through the learning process is how what life in many ways is all about. This is about the journey. This is not about the end result. This is about the way that we sustain our appreciation, our growth, our enjoyment of the world, our ability to be of service to others by making way, supporting those who are coming through an experience we've undergone, the way that we share what we've learned with others so that they can elevate themselves through a similar process. This is very akin to religious ceremonies of initiation. It's a word, a process for very similar elevation through the institutional or organizational ranks by taking on mentors, students, in order to experience this in a way that allows you to enjoy the journey, share the journey with others. In the present, we have the Empress. This is absolutely beautiful. This is all about your ability to generate ideas and thus to generate abundance. This too is talking about your real enjoyment of the process of growing, learning, and manifesting abundance, prosperity, stability. This is about your understanding how to balance natural cycles, how to maximize the harvest by doing things in their right time, understanding the structure of growth, of building, of development, so that you can reap the rewards. But it is as well about making space to enjoy that, making space to receive the love that you exercise in the world, receive the love and abundance that you are eternally creating. So this is really re-emphasizing this notion of a journey, a pleasure-filled, joy-filled, beautiful journey. And in the past, we have the Queen of Wands. So you're not falling too far from the tree here. You are actually experiencing the culmination of your passion, your values, your principles, your inspiration, something that you care about from the center of your heart that fills your soul with a drive, a determination, is something that you have elevated through not only magnetizing the resources you need to you, but learning how to make that process one of activity. So you're activating your passion. You're not just luxuriating in it. You're actually learning how to move resources and people as you display confidence, clarity that motivates others and supports your determination to achieve a goal. In the future, we have the Three of Wands, and this is describing the setup, your ability to actually put together the project, the plan, the contacts, the community that is going to begin to start this work that is about putting yourself out there in the most confident way possible, but in the most open way possible, so that you have ideas, you have potential collaborators, you may even have models of things that you would like to follow, but you are putting them out there, waiting for that feedback to come back to you. I think it's interesting how the idea of feedback is kind of cycling through this theme, that you are having to give a little to get something back, that this causes you in some ways to have to wait, to have to put yourself out there and have to wait for something without waiting to start. There's a difference between gathering up the feedback, the intel, the connections that you need to build a plan, to plan an effort, as opposed to waiting for to do something on the basis of someone else or something else. Having these wheels in motion, you're not doing that kind of waiting. You're anticipating the support and the connections that will be sufficient to get you started. If this reading is resonating for you, Pisces, please like this reading. Please share this with others. And certainly, please subscribe to my channel, Pacific Tarot. And I pulled the Fear card, which reads, I realize that I am testing my resolve to live in the energy of love. This beautifully describes the energy of this Three of Wands. You've already experienced the energy of love in the development of your vision, your plan, your experience of manifestation, of creating abundance. And now you're in a position to test your ability to live in this energy. In other words, to be brave enough to put your ideas out there, to be brave enough to approach individuals that you may or may not know about joining you in this effort, to connect with people that are doing something you think is amazing, to find out how you could be supported or how they have developed their particular project that is something you aspire to. So this card is really encapsulating this testing nature of your resolve, and I like that. I'm pulling a flora and fauna from Africa, and I have pulled the cicada. This has come up numerous times today, and the key words are inner voice. You're transforming into your best self. It's time to reemerge and use your voice to reconnect with the world around you. Again, the focus on testing your resolve, using your voice, reconnecting with the world after having experienced a fair level of abundance and achievement on your own terms. Braving the idea of building something larger, better, more practical for more people is part of this motivation to reconnect, to reemerge with your voice. In the present, the Empress is clarified by the Strength card and the Love card. The Love card being the lovers. The Strength card indicates that you have worked long and hard on this particular path that you've been on. You may have yourself completed education or training, uh, a course where you had to persevere through some perhaps very Spartan or difficult conditions in order to gain the wisdom, the experience, the training that you needed. You, along the way, learned to support others that, like you, were aspiring to the same goals, uh, to the same perspectives that you had in mind. So this required you to not only recognize your strength in being an ideal candidate for this journey, but also recognizing and empathizing with others that maybe needed some of your support in order to do their best, identify their strength, make it through that ability to give selflessly of yourself, understanding that the more people that participate in being excellent, in being skilled, the better the likely prospects of this aspiration, this goal will be. The Love card, the lovers, and love is echoing through this reading, is about your ability to discriminate through experience to, around the things that are serving you, benefiting you in the long term. Understanding the difference between short-term feel-good satisfaction or gratification and long-term benefit that increases your bottom line of stability and security, not solely in terms of monetary exchange, but in terms of abundance. Creating something selflessly, joining with other like-minded individuals or a particular and significant partner. This can be a business partnership or a partnership with a group of others to build something together, something that is at the service of a multitude of others or the service of something outside of yourself. In the past, the Queen of Wands is clarified by the Temptation, which is the Devil card in some decks, and in the King of Air. What I'm getting from this combination of cards is you've had to be very dispassionate about what you understand was needed to move forward. You are very rational. You're very capable of making good decisions for yourself, but you're not doing it in a void or a vacuum. You are allowing others to participate, led by your curiosity rather than by a mandate or a judgment that certain things must go or certain things need to be done a certain way. There's something that you recognize was limiting your participation, your ability to move forward, perhaps potentially your ability to achieve your goal that you have separated yourself from lovingly, but that you recognize was limiting or that was encouraging you to comply with the expectations of others. And this goes perfectly in the example of going through a program, an educational program, a training program, that you initially perhaps enter into a university or a program based on the expectations of others for you, that you will do well in some particular arena, that has gotten you as far as you are, but you're now in the ability to make decisions for yourself based on your curiosity, because for many of you, you haven't really done what you have studied to do yet for a significant amount of time. But you do know, you do have a vision, you know you have the skills and that the abundance of resources to point yourself in a direction that is going to benefit you and the community that you seek to serve best. And this is a beautiful way of recognizing and accepting that those that had expectations of you did it to support you, to promote you, to empower you with more choices. And now that you've gained those choices, you are using your own discernment, your own judgment. You have learned throughout this process about your own truth, what is true for you, and how you can best implement your truth in the larger world, how that can be shared with others in a way that doesn't just empower you to reach your goals, but empowers others as well. In the future, the Three of Wands is clarified by the Eight of Air and the Five of Air. The creating of a plan, a blueprint for how you are manifesting in your skills, in your vision, is one that uh, provokes or elicits a lot of unsolicited information or input from others' ideas, others' opinions. You have also experienced a wealth of theories, ideas, mentors, others who you could identify as being more experienced than you and necessarily have ideas that you should at least consider, even if you disagree or have another idea. That can be overwhelming to you, and in fact, that can stimulate this sense of not being enough, not having enough experience, not having enough training or education, not having enough confidence in your ideas, doubting your ideas by comparing yourself to others. And that is ultimately what I believe is something that can increase your anxiety level, increase your fear, that this testing of your resolve is something that pales in comparison to those who have shown you the way in whatever regard. Of course, they know better. And that, of course, is a falsehood. Ultimately, you must pursue your own vision, your own ideas. You must allow yourself to continue to grow if that's what you determine you need to do. If you are making choices about advanced education, as an example, or making choices about the best partnership or employment, institutional alignment, organizational affiliation that would best allow you to learn your practice, to learn your trade, and support you in developing this process of perfecting your ability to learn, your ability to help others. This feels, in some cases, for some of you, as though you may have an opportunity to teach, perhaps at an assistant level or at a master's level, around something that you are aspiring to create in the commercial or the social world. That by teaching, you are not only supporting others, building a larger pool of others trained and that have identified the goals of whatever it is that you have studied. And this feels very much like environmental to me, somehow having an impact on the resources in the world, but it also allows you to continue to grow your ideas, to perfect your vision as you move through the ranks of education, or as you identify future collaborators or current collaborators who are still have access to the tools of a large institution where you can be continuing to pound out your business plan, your blueprint, your curriculum moving forward. I'm going to finish up this reading with a yogic path oracle and hope that this reading has provided you with insight. Two cards flipped out, but I'm going to take Brahma and look this up. So Brahma is the god of creation, and it reads, "It's time to create. The creator of the universe and all beings have come to you with the message that now's the time to bring that idea to fruition. What is that idea you've been sitting on but haven't taken action? Now's the time to plant the seed into the earth and water it with your intention so it sprouts to life, benefiting all those around you. Brahma's rosary symbolizes the time cycle through which the world moves from creation to sustenance, from sustenance to dissolution, and from dissolution to new creation. Which cycle are you on?" Thank you so much, Pisces, for this beautiful reading. Until next time, Namaste.